We are back at our MikroTik R1 router, R1-65100. So if we go to IP addresses, so you'll notice in our previous video, we have set the addresses on our Ether2 and our Ether3 interfaces. So we have set an IPv4 address statically by clicking new and typing in the IP address. If you're new to MikroTik, then chances are you might be looking, where should I put in a dynamic setting? So I don't want to put static. I would like to select dynamic and let this interface acquire an IP address from a DHCP server. But as you can see, even if we expand this, there is no setting or even a radio button wherein I could select static, or I could select a radio button for dynamic. It is because in setting up, in acquiring an IP address dynamically, it isn't here. So if we close this, close this IP address, so we go here, so IP addresses. So instead of going to IP addresses, so we go to IP and DHCP client. So we click new and let's take a look what's inside DHCP client settings. So DHCP tab, you have advanced tab. Perhaps in our future videos, then you have the status. So DHCP you have enabled, yes or no, so comment. So which interface will it acquire dynamically? Okay, so Ether1 or whatever interface you desire. So use peer DNS, use peer NTP, and add default route. So if we check use peer DNS, so if we go to IP DNS, we haven't discussed this yet, so in our future videos, so it will show here the dynamic servers for the IP DNS. So for your use peer NTP or network time protocol, so you have your settings here for your network time protocol, so NTP client. Then finally you have the default route, add default route, yes. So if we select yes, so there are options, so yes, so it will show also on our IP route. So in the future videos we'll also discuss IP route. We don't have anything here yet except of the dynamic active connected, for which the interfaces that we have put in and configured, that is why we have the connected routes. So without further ado, let's click apply on this. See if there is a DHCP server that is connected on our Ether1. So apply, so it will do a DORA. So click OK. And yes, indeed it acquired an IP address. So let's verify whether this address appears our IP address. So IP addresses, so yes, with a D, dynamic. So use peer DNS, let's check whether it acquires a DNS server. So IP DNS, and yes, there is a dynamic server here. Then we have add default route, yes. So let's take a look whether there was a default route added. So IP routes, and we do have a default route, so dynamically added. So we have a default route going to this gateway. Then finally let's check the status. So double click on this, so we go to status, so the IP address, the gateway that was acquired, DHCP server is this, so the gateway and the DHCP server is the same IP address. It did provide us with a DNS server, and there's no NTP server provided, and status is bound.